Struck.
We live.
Will we make it?
Will we make it?
Will we make it through the live?
I will say this. If coughing or sniffling gets under your skin in any way, you may want to skip this live.
Yeah, well, I asked Jason yesterday if we were going to try to do the live, and he said, I think we will. So y'all just be prepared. We're here, but he's holding it in. I can see he's holding it in. So this will not be any laughing. There he goes.
He can't laugh.
He can't laugh because when he laughs, he coughs. So.
I can't laugh. That's impossible, though, I believe.
And if it bothers you to suck on a lozenge,
I've just finished it too.
Well, you can have another one.
Man,
it's y'all. Somebody sent us these from. If I'm not mistaken, it was from Canada.
I think it was Canada.
It's called Fisherman's Friend.
Fisherman's Friend.
And I remember when we got these in the mail, I thought it was like sardines or something. I'm sorry. I'm already making him laugh, and y'all can hear how terrible it sounds. It's in his chest. It's like that. So he's better, but he's not going to do anything. Are you?
Mm-mm.
He's gonna take it easy, and he's yeah. There they go. Somebody knew what Fisherman's Friend was. I asked him a few minutes ago. He was coughing, and I said, "Do you want me to get you some cough drops?" And he hasn't tried to stop this cough at all, except for using a humidifier. Honey, and a humidifier.
Honey works so awesome.
And so he said, sure. So I went to my medicine cabinet, and I had several things to choose from. He said, which one do you think I ought to take? I said, well, I remember last year in February when I was sick, I used this Fisherman's Friend. And it's a lozenge that's menthol. And y'all, I'm talking about it will open you up.
Y'all, this is like Halls on steroids.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know if it's medicated at all or if it's just menthol.
It says extra strong menthol, and I believe it.
It's you can feel it through your nose, so it's a good product, and it helps you immediately, didn't it? Immediately. So
woo!
He's not gonna suck on these all day. It's just to make it through the light.
Oh man. Oh.
Honey makes my cough worse, said that person, Carla. It helps you, doesn't it?
It helped me a lot.
Helped you a lot. Mm-hmm. So I'm 100%. I've had no symptoms whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weirdest thing ever. I told Jason last night, I said, I don't understand how I don't have it. And Mary Carl's symptoms have been very minimal. So she's okay. But, we were taking precautions because she had a symptom that we thought could be the beginning signs. I don't get it. I don't understand how unless it's something I've already had in my life.
Maybe so.
But how's the chance that she's had it and I've had it? And maybe she had it and just fought it off.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
I'm not questioning it, though. I mean, I'm done with questioning it. I don't want it.
The only thing that I'm going to say about this lozenger is that when I take a sip, it's not going to be good.
It's not going to taste good, but
it's not going to taste good.
It's going to be okay. You're going to make it. And he didn't cough to begin with. When he first started getting the sickness, Holly's got a ball and she's rolling it across the floor. It was just, he was so sleepy, he couldn't keep his eyes open.
And then the next day, I felt fine. I told you I got this whipped, and this is not that bad at all.
But you ate all night long the first night that you felt sleepy.
Yeah.
And Tylenol took the aches away.
Mm-hmm.
So, it started on a Wednesday.
It started on a Wednesday.
This has been 10 days. Today is day 10.
Gosh, I think it's longer.
No,
Wednesday,
it's
Thursday,
10.
Friday, Saturday,
Wednesday, 7 days.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 11 days.
Okay, so I can't count. 11 days. 11 days. But it's been weird. It's been weird. He didn't start coughing until
about day 4 or 5.
Well, it was whatever day that you went to the doctor's about when your coughing started.
That would have been on Monday. Day 6.
Yep. So yeah.
I don't know.
He took 2 at-home COVID tests, and they were both negative. His doctor just doesn't know exactly what it was, but it was too far along to actually do a flu test at that point or any kind of viral testing. So it is what it is, and he's on the mend, hopefully.
My doctor did say that the COVID test, he said the home and the one they have are the same.
So it wasn't going to do any good for you to.
They are, and he said those tests are not very good.
Not very good. So there was no point in doing another one in the office, especially at day 6.
Yeah, that's what he said. There's nothing. He said there's nothing we could do for you at day 6. You know, we can't give you Tamiflu or anything like that. He said because it's.
Now you drank some rose hibiscus tea, didn't you?
I did.
Drank some rose hibiscus tea. He's just been taking it easy. I had to get a ton, and I'm not exaggerating, a ton of feed, which is 2,000 pounds. And the truck, that's what I buy at a time because we put it in the barrels. And you get you get a quarter off a bag if you buy a ton. So I always buy a ton and store what's left over in the barn to save that quarter per bag. And he thought he was going to help me put it out. And I said, no, you are not. I will do half of it tonight, the day that I went and got the feed, and half of it tomorrow. And I did 30 bags the day that I got home. I put 30 bags out, and the next day I put the 10 extra bags out. And I got it done, but he thought he was going to help me, and I was not going to let him. So I got it done, and that's all that matters.
The only thing now is that I don't feel achy no more, but around noon I crash.
Has to go to bed at around noon. And while I think he needs to get his strength back, when your body tells you to rest, you got to do that because you're not going to recover unless you rest.
That's right.
So 2 hours has been the going rate for the nap, right?
2 hours for the mid-afternoon nap, which I bet you can't count on one hand when I've taken a nap.
Oh, it's back when I was having. Speaking of that, I didn't put my injection on the counter to. I meant to get it to room temperature. Forget. Well, I wanted to do it so I could take it after the live, but I can count fingers, toes. I mean, his fingers and toes is amounts of time that I've had to lay down for feeling bad. And now it's his turn.
Yeah.
And what's 10 days? Because you're going to be back at it, and it's something that you have never had to do just to recover.
Now, after the nap's over with, I feel good and I got some energy back. But when it gets about 5 or 6 o'clock,
ready to go again.
Ready to go
again. So I've been trying to, not that Mary Carl's a toddler and rolls marbles down the hall or anything, but I'm sorry, I made you cough. But we try to get out of here and just be quiet because going in and out the door makes the Pomeranians bark, and I just don't want to disturb him. So if we're not here, the dogs don't bark.
That's true.
So we go do something from 12 to 2.
That's right.
And it's become rather routine. But yeah.
And she's enjoying driving.
I
will say this, and I cannot tell y'all how proud of her I am. Not only did she drive me to Selma, which is an hour, to the doctor, which is an hour. She waited in the parking lot for 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
And I would text her every now and then, "You okay, Daddy? I'm fine. Don't worry about me."
I didn't want her going in the office because it's too many exposures that, he was exposed to it, obviously, but I just didn't want her experiencing that firsthand to potentially, her get sick. And I had things I had to do. I actually went and got 4 bales of hay while y'all were gone. It was drizzling rain that day, but she had told me the day before, "Mama, if you got something to do, I'll take Daddy to the doctor." And I was like, that's great because, this time last year, I would have had to take him and we would have not gotten something done that we needed to. So it worked out.
It did work out. Yeah,
and,
I was really proud of her. I mean, I bet I texted her 5 times, and
I was
every time she told me, "Daddy, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine."
I was messaging her from time to time too, and towards let's see, your appointment was at 10:30. I don't think you got out of there till about 1:30. So it was almost 3 hours.
Yeah, it was almost 3 hours.
Approaching 1:30, she said, Mama, I'm getting hungry. And I said, well, he had told me he was back in the back and he was going to get a chest x-ray.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it shouldn't be too much longer. And she wasn't complaining. She was just saying she didn't know where to go to get something to eat.
And we had packed some snacks, thank goodness.
Yeah, I had packed them some bananas and some boiled eggs. And she said, I ate that already. And so she was trying to figure out what they could eat. And I said, well, look, there's a barbecue place down the road. I will call you in something. Just tell me what you want. Mm-hmm. And it's Hancock's Barbecue. Mm-hmm. And so Jason had told me when he got back in the car and she was driving that he didn't want anything. And I said, Jason, you need to eat.
No appetite. I really don't have that big of an appetite.
Still?
Not really. I mean, it's okay. It's better than it was. I tell you that. The first few days, I didn't want to eat nothing.
So I knew I could call them something in at Hancock's and let them just go drive and it would be ready to pick up. And he said, okay, I will get some camp stew. And if y'all have ever been through Selma, the north end of Selma, the west side of Selma. The west side of Selma, there's a little barbecue restaurant that's been there for years. And it's called Hancock's Barbecue. Mm-hmm. So they have something called camp stew. And what it is it has their barbecue in it with their barbecue sauce.
It's good.
It has corn. And that's about it, isn't it?
I don't know. It's delicious. It's my favorite camp stew I've ever had.
It's very good. It's really good. I think that your brain must have got to working because you were probably thinking, I don't want a barbecue.
I did not want a barbecue sandwich.
And you didn't want a hamburger.
I did not want a hamburger. I didn't want anything greasy.
So he said, get me some camp stew. And Jason got some camp stew and it hit the spot.
It did. It was good.
It hit the spot.
It was.
So they were able to get their bellies full before they headed back to Selma.
Mm-hmm. What's cool about this place is family owned and operated, and now it's the second generation.
Yeah, it's the second generation.
Yep.
My daddy actually went to school with Mr. Mike Hancock. He's a very, very good man. Mm-hmm. And they just keep on keeping on like it was many, many years ago, and nothing's changed.
And if I'm not mistaken, both daughters are there.
Yeah, both daughters are there.
They run it.
And they do a good job of it.
It's awesome.
I
love helping out
local businesses. Yeah,
so much.
And a lot of people have, I've seen these little forums that go on Facebook and such, Best Barbecue in Alabama.
Yeah.
And every single time it comes up, there are people time and time again that say Hancock's Barbecue. And there are people that drive all over to go to Hancock's Barbecue.
I would say our hometown Selma has two of the best barbecue places there are. Laney's. And that one. Now, Laney's actually does come up on the statewide
Best Barbecue in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep, it's really good.
Laney's has the what do you call it? What do they call it?
Crackling, I think is what they call it.
Crackling on the sandwich, on the barbecue itself, and it gives it a crunch. It's so good.
It is good.
So both of those two are good.
Good. I will say though, there has been a blessing with this sickness. It has.
I don't know what that blessing would be.
My elbow is pretty much good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, if I had allowed you to help me with that feed, it wouldn't be okay.
My elbow has been going on probably since November.
Yeah, but first time you do something, you're gonna have to still take it easy.
I know.
You're not gonna use any post hole diggers.
No, no way.
You can't do it.
No way.
I mean, Caden's gonna be healed before too long.
Mm-hmm.
And Caden does not mind using the post hole diggers. So, yeah, you got to be kind to your.
I'm happy about my elbow. I am. Look at there's Lester. A blessing is a daily nap. That's true, too.
Yeah.
That is true.
Blessing is a daily nap.
I tell you another blessing.
What's that?
Is that since I've been, pretty much, need something to do. And so I have been obsessed with watching old farm truck restoration videos. And I don't know how many I've watched.
I know how many. A lot.
I have been watching them.
Y'all, he will come to me and say, watch this. watch this. And I'll watch it for a minute. And once I see the main idea that he's talking about, I kind of turn my head and walk away. And he's still doing like this. Like I'm sitting there, like he's still showing it to me.
Oh, goodness.
Because he's involved in it.
I'm so in debt with it. I am. I'm like, oh my goodness. So,
but you've learned a lot.
Oh, I have learned so much. I really have. Y'all know I like old things, and so if the perfect opportunity shows itself, and there's an old farm truck out there that is, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. It's got to be cheap, and it's got to be
fixable.
Fixable in semi-good condition, which is like finding a needle in a haystack these days. I don't know why, but the truck market is nuts. It's crazy.
The old truck market.
The old truck market.
We don't know about the new ones because we ain't looking at them. Sure is crazy too.
When it comes to farm trucks, old trucks, my dream truck would be an old Chevy or GMC square body. My daddy had that old GMC Jimmy, and those are even astronomical. You can't find an old GMC Jimmy or a Chevy Blazer, the full size ones, without a motor under $6,000.
Wouldn't it be something nuts if you could find the one your daddy had?
Oh,
I mean, for all we know, it could be in the bottom of the river, but or it could be crushed.
They say Lester has an old square body. I didn't know he had a square body. Old square, like the
no,
I
thought he had a round body. Any opportunity, Lester.
Oh, you gonna make the live coming up?
Oh yeah, gotta do that.
Oh, Lester, I can't do nothing with her, Lester. I can't do nothing with her.
Yeah,
I had to put her on restriction.
I thought Lester had a round body.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh me. But the square body is like the old Fall Guy truck.
Yes.
If you remember the show Fall Guy, that's the square body. It's from 73 to I think they stopped around 84ish. Like I said, my dad's was a Jimmy, which was.
Do you remember what year it was?
I don't. I have no idea.
What color was it?
It was green and white. So it was two-tone. It was green, white, and green. Yeah, love that truck. Love the Fall Guy truck. A good friend of mine, neighborhood friend, his dad had one that was blue. And
his was a Blazer too?
No, it was a truck.
Oh, it was a truck.
But that square body market, I don't know what's happened. I think it's social media. I really do. I think it's social media and people. I mean, when we were growing up, how many teenage boys like us had square bodies?
Everybody.
All of us did.
I mean,
I didn't. I had old Ford, but everybody had old square bodies.
You know, let's see. Tristan, Piper's brother, he's either 18 now or he's gonna be 18 very soon. Yep. He's gonna be 18 in April. That's right. That's Piper and Tristan's birthday month is April. So Tristan, when he was 14, so 4 years ago, he had an opportunity to buy a square body, old 4-wheel drive pickup truck.
And the 4-wheel drives are even
harder to find. Yeah. And I remember Tristan being obsessed with that. And Tristan helps his granddaddy bale hay all summer long. Hardworking young man, and saved his money and bought that square body.
Yep.
And they weren't that sought after then. And he didn't pay an astronomical price for it. He got it for a good deal. And it's what he wanted. And so Tristan, to this day, drives that square body 4-wheel drive truck that he bought with his own money. And that was his dream. Look at him now. I mean, he could sell that truck for probably 10 times what he paid for.
I'm sure. It's crazy how far they've gone.
So he bought that truck when he was 14. And
I'll show you what a square body is. I got one right here.
I wish I had a picture of Tristan's. I think it's red, isn't it? And it's faded, so it's not, it's kind of a pinky red now, but
so this right here is what an old square body looks like right there. Isn't that pretty?
Old square body.
I love them.
And I never knew it was called square body till now, but It is what it is.
But they're hard to find in good shape and that are inexpensive. They're really hard, but maybe one day, maybe. I've been on the kick. I don't know.
And Jason did buy an old farm truck years ago from the young man that's working on the Volkswagen motor, and he just has not had it. It is a lot of work that has to be done.
It was a lot of work, and then somebody wanted it a little worse than I did, and so, anyways, well, we'll just have to see.
We'll just have to see.
We'll just have to see.
That one was going to be too much to try to.
It was. Now that one would have been. Yeah, that would have been a pretty big project.
And you don't want something that you got to work on every single day.
No, I want something semi-reliable.
Something that you don't have to call me to come pick you up.
That's right.
If I do have to come pick you up, I'll be okay because we got that 20-foot trailer. And if you break down, we just need a winch. That's what we need, Jason.
A winch on the front of it.
We need a winch on that trailer that is not a hand crank winch.
And you can get those fairly inexpensive now.
But where do you get the power from?
I'm thinking there's a way, and I haven't looked, but I'm thinking there's a way that you hook it into your trailer plug. Because all you need is a power and a ground. So if you can hook it to your trailer plug and get a power and ground from there, then you can work it.
Well, we need to check into that because, I mean, when we get the Volkswagen going, just say it breaks down.
Yeah.
Me and you can't push that Volkswagen on the trailer.
We can't push it up there. We
need to be able to just hook the trailer up and tow it. And the trailer that I'm talking about is the one that we use for hay. And it's a car hauler is what it is. I bought a trailer when we were going to buy the tractor that we have now. I bought it from a man that bought and sold trailers in North Alabama. And y'all that have followed us for a while remember this story. So I went and bought that trailer, and it was inexpensive because it had a blemish on it. It was from the manufacturer. This man bought them and resold them. And I loaded that tractor up on this trailer. It was a dual axle, but it was more like a utility style trailer. And I got the tractor home, and it was that much room on each side of that trailer. And I said, this ain't going to work because at the time we had both farms. So we were taking the tractor from back and forth and whatnot. And I said, this just ain't going to work. We cannot haul this tractor back and forth all the time on this trailer. I sold that trailer for what I paid for it and went and bought this trailer for no more money.
Yep.
It was no more money for me to buy the car hauler. And it worked out because I need this for hay anyway.
Yeah, because we can get 3 bales of hay on it.
We can get 3 bales of hay, and I put a bale in the back of the truck. If y'all saw Catherine's video, the day that I took, the day that Jason went to the doctor, Mary Carl took her, I went and got hay. So Catherine was talking to me on the phone, and she had went to somewhere, Columbiana or somewhere, that she had found a hay ring.
Yeah.
For a good deal. She needed a hay ring for her animals, and she found it on Marketplace. So she was going to get that. And she said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going to get hay. And she said, well, I got to do that when I get back. And I said, well, I'm getting 4 bales of hay. Do you want me to just come bring one of these bales to you? And she was I don't want you to have to give away your hay. And I said, well, just pay me for a bale of it, because she didn't know where to go to get the hay that I was buying. And so I unloaded our hay here, took that bale that was on the bed of the truck and took it over to her, and we rolled it off the bed of the truck, and she built her ring around it. And now she's got a round bale to feed her.
Good deal.
Feed her animals, because she was having to feed them a square bale a day.
And that can get expensive.
Not only that, but it's a lot on your body to have to carry and store those square bales of hay. And up until this point, she's done it. But I told her, I said, look, if you can find a ring cheap, that's the way to go. So she's going to find out. I bet it's going to last her a month.
Yeah, it's just so much better with a round bale.
There she is. She said, thank you, Brooke.
It is so much better.
I didn't mind helping at all. And if I have to get another 4 bales, she's going to ride with me and see where to get them from. If we have green grass before then, of course, we're not buying any more hay. But I can see some green starting to come up.
What size of our round bales are?
4x5.
Let's see here.
They weigh 2,000 pounds.
So
ours weigh about 2,000 pounds.
Okay. There's roughly 20 to 25 square bales in a 4x5 round bale.
That's a lot.
You can buy here a 4x5 round bale anywhere, depending on the quality, anywhere from $50 to $75. Right?
What, you talking about a round bale?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, $50 to $75 depending on the quality.
Yeah, pretty much.
A square bale is anywhere from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So do the math.
Yeah, because she was buying square bales, and I think she was paying $8 a bale.
Yeah.
So $160 worth of round bale.
So it's under half.
Yeah, it's much more economical.
You save so much money.
When we lived at the old farm, we bought square bales because, first of all, our tractor wouldn't pick up a round bale.
Yeah.
And now we would put it on the back of the truck from time to time when we had horses.
Yep.
And roll it off, just what me and Catherine did.
That's right.
And but for the goats, we bought square bales, and it was a job.
Yeah, it's just so much easier.
Remember that time that we stored all that hay in the barn?
In the barn.
And me and you were thinking we wish we had one of those conveyor belt things.
Yep.
Because we put it in the loft.
That's right.
We completely filled our loft in the barn with square bales. And I can remember getting up there one time and it being a big old snake up there.
Big old chicken snake up there, yes.
And that loft was probably, 12 foot up in the air.
Let me tell y'all, I got in that loft one time and we've had chicken snakes at the old farm. And
you got chicken snakes everywhere.
Well, I know that, but we just seemed like we had more there.
Yeah, it does.
Here, but I was up there and that chicken snake was up there and I almost touched it. That's how close it was. And no matter if you know
it doesn't matter if you're scared of a snake or not.
You don't think. Your body does not think. It is automatic. And y'all, I jumped down from that loft and it was instantaneous. I mean, it was a half a second. I don't know how I didn't break my leg, but I jumped down from that loft.
Well, if it had been a rat, you probably would have broke your leg.
It's probably true. Probably true.
And I can remember saying, "What is it?"
Yeah.
He was like, "It's a snake. It is that big up there."
Yeah, I know how chicken snakes are. They'll be this big around.
That's right.
And at least 6 foot long.
That's right. Yeah, it does seem like we had a lot more snakes there than what we've seen here.
Yeah,
anyway.
It does.
I'm sure they're here, but no, I didn't smell it because I wasn't in there. He was the one getting hay. He couldn't smell anything.
I couldn't smell it. I'm not a snake smeller.
Oh, goodness. Yep. And needless to say, from that point forward, every time we got up there to go get that hay, because our ladder was straight up.
Yeah, it was just a straight up
ladder. So, you got up there in anticipation of a snake being up there.
Every time.
And your mind was just, oh, goodness, you couldn't get it out of your mind.
Whew.
I remember one time we had chicks in that
the little brooder we had.
The little brooder that we had in that barn. And Mary Carl was really little. And so she would, if I was outside with her, she'd go and take care of her chicks and do her thing. She went in that area where chicks were, and she come out screaming, and that snake had a chick in its mouth, and she was devastated. Mama, it's got my chick. And we got the snake and got it had not actually put it down its throat yet. It was just in its mouth. And we got the chick out of the snake's mouth by, just scaring the snake. And the snake let the chick go. Now, I didn't tell her probably it had, consumed a couple. And I'm sure she knew by counting which ones were missing. But that snake was in the middle of his meal. And we got him out of there. And then from that point forward, I was scared of her going in there because I didn't want her chicken snake's not going to, hurt her, but I didn't want her to be bit and terrified for the rest of her life.
Bite you.
Yeah, they can bite you.
Now, a gentleman I used to work with, Mr. Bill Lovelady, he grew up way in the country. He said that he never saw a running toilet until
a running toilet.
A working running toilet.
Oh,
he used the outhouse until he was like 18.
I thought you meant like a toilet that was running.
No, this one didn't have legs on it until he was like 18, 19 years old. And so he didn't know. Matter of fact, I better not tell that story. better not tell that story. It was pretty funny. I'm gonna keep my mouth.
It was about a snake.
No, it was about him first time
he ever saw a running toilet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, he said that they would get in their barn that they had, and they would eat the egg, get up in top of the barn, and drop down and crush the egg
on purpose.
Yeah, so you could be in the barn and they would fall and hit you in the head or whatever. Yeah. And I think about that when we go in the old barn.
Well, I tell you, do you remember the little house? Well, yes, you remember it. But the little house that we had built, when we built it for rabbits to begin with, at our old farm, it was a little tiny house. We had the little brooder on the, wasn't called a brooder because it was for rabbits. But anyway, we turned it into a chicken coop.
That's right.
And it seemed like every time we had this little thing that you lifted up, and that's where the egg boxes were. We'd lift that thing up, and there would always, it seemed like always, be a chicken snake in that lip. Remember?
Yep.
And you could shut it back, and that snake would have just enough room to hide.
Enough room.
It would eat the eggs and go back in that. Oh goodness! I'm just glad I haven't found one in my coop since we've been here. We found one in the pigeon loft. Remember?
That's about the only time.
Found one in the pigeon loft, and I'm sure they're here, but
I know they're here.
I haven't put my hands on one.
Hadn't seen them.
Knock
on wood. Haven't seen one. Somebody asked about the sauerkraut. Well, before I got sick, you had bought some Conecuh sausages.
Yes.
And we were going to make like a Polish hot dog. We do it with Conecuh sausages, and we're going to put some sauerkraut on it. And then I got like this, and
it wasn't the meal that you wanted.
No.
So we're gonna I still got the Conecuh sausage. It's in the refrigerator. So whenever you feel up to it, then we will have the sauerkraut on the Conecuh sausage dogs.
That is our plan right there.
That is our plan.
You know, when I get sick, and I was thinking back, last time I got sick was when we were in the camper. 2 years ago.
Right.
And when I do get sick, I get extremely sick. It's just boom.
Yeah, he doesn't get just a little bit sick,
But I always crave French fries.
Yeah.
Always. It's the craziest thing.
And
I have forever. Yeah, milkshake's good too. But the French fries, and you said Catherine told you that there's a reason for that.
She did. Catherine, if you're still on here, express that reason for your body craving fried stuff. I can't remember exactly.
Was it potatoes or was it something fried? I can't remember.
It was something about the science behind it and your body carbohydrates, maybe.
There was some reason why.
There she goes. Has to be McDonald's. Yep. There is no other option.
Oh, me. But there's some reason why I would crave the French fries, and it is.
Crave that French fry.
I will eat them every day.
A friend of mine, Melissa, she will text me every now and then when her family gets sick because they're the same way. And she says, got to have them French fries.
Got to have them French fries.
McDonald's French fries.
I don't know what it is.
So the body needs salt and energy, electrolyte replacement, and fuel. And that's why your body craves the French fries.
The French fries.
Because they're salty, and then they're, the energies from the carbohydrates. So it's just a must-have. And needless to say, Carl and I were in town while he's been sick, and I said, do you need anything while you're in town? And he said, he didn't want me to go to any inconvenience. Where are you? And I said, well, I can get anything you want. What's on your mind? McDonald's French fries and a vanilla milkshake.
Vanilla milkshake.
No hamburger? No, just French fries and a milkshake. So, needless to say, he's had that a couple of times.
I have.
And that's something we don't eat normally. I mean, when's the last time we went to McDonald's and ate French fries?
Last time I was sick.
It's not that we don't like them. It's that we try to stay away from it. But your body gets to craving certain things, and he got his French fries, got his milkshake.
Yep. I don't even like the ketchup on them when I'm sick.
You just want
straight up French fries.
Straight up French fries.
And if I'm feeling a little frisky, I may dip it in the
And then Mary Carl's going, ugh, that's gross. So I haven't done a whole lot of cooking since he's been sick.
No need to.
I made taco soup.
Yeah.
One time I thought that would be good and it could carry over. And I actually fixed tacos one time.
You did.
But I kind of feel like I've been on vacation from my cooking. Of course, Mary Carl, being a teenager, she didn't really care what she eats, and I can come up with anything. So just been providing him what he is craving, and just I've enjoyed my vacation. I mean, I hate it because you've been sick, but.
Well, you probably had enjoyed feeding everybody by yourself.
Oh, feeding the animals?
Yeah, and unloading the feed and all
it's
that
okay. It's going to be over soon. I mean, we all have to do things we don't necessarily enjoy, but I just want you to be 100% before you get back out there and start working again.
Somebody said McDonald's has the best Cokes. They do, and there's a reason for that.
Something about the machine.
They have and I want to say they're the only one that has that, and that has something to do with their machine. They're kind of made like they were back in the day, sort of, kind of, but the syrup and the others separated, and they mix it fresh when you order it.
You watched the documentary, didn't you?
I watched the documentary about the ice cream machine or the milkshake machine. You know, that's the whole scam there on that, if you don't know the story. But you ever go to McDonald's and their machine's down, which is half the time you go.
Yeah.
It's because they're in cahoots with this company that makes their machines. And when you sign your franchise agreement, you can only use that company and their technicians when their machine goes down. And they have special codes and all this. And so if you were to get somebody outside of that company, they will pull your franchise from you. And so that's why it's a scam, because then you have to pay that company to come fix your machine. That's the only, so it's a monopoly.
Well, you would think they'd get out of that contract somehow.
You can't. You lose your McDonald's franchise.
I'm saying
McDonald's gets a kickback.
Oh.
So it's a whole.
It's not benefiting the franchise owner.
It's not benefiting the local franchise owner at all. It benefits McDonald's and whatever company has that machine.
Yeah, we always laugh about it, because if somebody's sick and wants some ice cream or some milkshake, we always say the machine's going to be down.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it wasn't this time, but it has been the case. As you guys know, if you've ever had McDonald's ice cream, your machine was probably down.
And as a matter of fact, I think that documentary was on YouTube. I think that's where I saw it. It was a YouTube. Yep. It's crazy.
Well, you don't know. Well, while you were sick and we were in town, I told Mary Carl, I said, let's go through the car wash. And she was driving Subaru. And she said, Mama, I'm not driving through the car wash. And I said, come on, Mary Carl, you got to drive through the car wash. My mama won't go through the car wash. My mama's in her 70s. No, Mama, I'm not going through the car wash. I said, okay, well, I want to go through the car wash. So let's, swap places and go through the car wash. And we did. While we were in the car wash, something occurred to me that I have forgotten that happened to me when Mary Carl was a toddler.
What's that?
So I had to go pick her up from her little preschool at 12. And I decided I was going to go through the car wash. And this was when we lived in Selma. So I'm in the car wash and getting ready to get out, and didn't know if I had time to vacuum the car out or not, but it was going to be clean when I picked her up. And I'm in the car wash, and all of a sudden I went for a walk.
Oh, I remember now.
And I was like, what in the world was that? A lady that was in the car wash mashed the gas
instead of the brake.
And well, she didn't need to mash anything because it's in neutral.
That's right.
So her car should have been in neutral.
Yep.
And I got rammed in the car wash. And so we got out of the car wash, and the lady said, I didn't do anything. I was in neutral the whole entire time. And so they had to go and watch their cameras, and see, and they could literally see the car, going forward. So it was evident that she might have thought she was in neutral, but she was not. And I just thought that it was how ironic it was that I got hit in the car wash. And I had to call Jason to go pick Mary Carl up and I think that was the first time I'd ever had to have you go pick her up.
Yeah.
Because you were obviously working a full-time job. And I remember being so nervous that McCarl wasn't going to know the car that you were picking her up in. And oh, goodness, poor me got hit in the car wash. And my car was pretty messed up. You wouldn't think it would have done that much damage, but the whole bumper and part of the quarter panel in the back. It was a Chevrolet Malibu.
That's what it was. Our little Chevrolet Malibu.
Chevrolet Malibu got busted up in the car wash.
But they better be lucky that you wasn't in the old farm truck.
Yeah, they better be, because it would have tore their car up, not mine.
Probably would have totaled it out.
It probably would have.
It probably would have had just a little scratch on the bumper of an old farm truck.
Yep, it probably would have.
Yeah, it would have messed them up.
But I got to thinking about that. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. And the lady was still, even after they showed her the video, she was trying to convince them that she was in neutral the whole time, that she had never, and the police, that of course they watched the video and they determined it was her fault because there's no way the car wash pushed her through.
Yeah. And, well, because you're on that little ramp, so you'd have to, your tires on that little ramp that pulls you through.
Right. So there's no way that it could have happened. But anyway, her insurance ended up paying for it, but put me out a couple of hours, and you ended up having to bring her to me at the car wash because you were working, and I got her back home. But goodness gracious, that just was a weird happening.
We sent out an email, but I do want to say this is that there's some delays in shipping, which is, I think it's about starting to clear up now, but it's because of the winter storms that went through.
So it's a nationwide thing. It's not just us.
It is, but there were some delays, and it just compounded on stuff. So, they were already delayed. The post office was already delayed because, they were shut down for a couple of days. And then, so that compiles up, but I think they're about to get it all cleared up now. But so if your order is not there like it normally has or anything like that, that is why there's been some weather delays through the postal service, and we do apologize for that. That's usually not the norm. So sorry about that, but there are some weather delays out there.
Somebody said, do we have honey available?
We should
Absolutely, Angie. Mm-hmm. We should have honey available on the website.
Where's that at?
www.coghillfarm.com.
That's right.
Speaking of on the website, don't we have something new that we're offering for Valentine's Day?
It just came out
yesterday.
Jacqueline and Zach did this for us, and
it's a little Valentine's special. I think it's super cute, and I think y'all will too.
It's called Hogs and Kisses. Can
you imagine who that might be?
It's Gus and Loretta, and there's several things on there. I don't know why you don't like it showing up good on there, y'all. Anyways, that's a new coffee cup and a
limited edition. Coffee. It won't be offered anytime but for Valentine's.
Shows up better. A little bit.
It does until you show it on that screen.
It changes colors. But there's several of those out there, and then there's also some shirts that are available too in different colors that are
Hogs and Kisses.
Hogs and Kisses.
Perfect for Valentine's Day.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah. And there's a limited quantity. So they, if once they're gone, they're gone. Just a limited supply on those. Do you know how many calendars we have left? I know they were getting down to the single, double digits, I should say.
I'd have to go back and look. It's not many.
It's not many calendars left. So just know that once those are gone, there will not be any more. And we were checking into the little pocket calendars. Did you ever email? I remember telling you to email the print shop.
I didn't. That's my fault. I got sick, and that was it. Yeah.
So the print shop was just waiting on the email, and I wish I could have sent it to him. But I thought it had been done. So we're still working on the pocket calendars. That's a possibility once we get pricing.
I'm so sorry about that.
Once we get pricing and see if it's economical, then we'll pass that information on. He said he could put them together like that. Okay. So that's not going to be an issue. He just needed the file to see how much it was going to cost.
Whew. Sorry about that.
So y'all saw that you got something.
Go ahead.
That I picked up a cabinet that that we absolutely love. Was in a video. Don't even know what video it was, but the days are all running together now.
I will say that, I have been locked up in the house pretty much. I'll go outside a little bit here and there, but I'm thankful for the videos. That gave me something to do.
No, we're not more concerned about profit than quality. Not at all. It's passing it on to you guys and it being economical for you, because obviously if the price is too much, we don't want to offer it.
Yeah.
So no, that's not a nice thing to say, and that's not what the goal is. It's making it economical for you guys. So anyway, you've been locked up in the house.
And locked up in the house. So editing the videos was a blessing, honestly.
Yep. It has been a blessing. It's been a blessing for me, because as I'm going to get Mary Carl out of the house, he's been doing some tidying up and y'all, even though we've been in this house for a couple of years, it still has empty walls and it still has places where we oh, okay, thank you. She said she didn't mean us.
Oh.
And I apologize for that, but I saw it.
And Holly, I apologize about Canada shipping. We've discussed this before, and y'all, shipping to Canada is just nuts right now. It's their custom charges are astronomical, and I wish there was another way we could do that, but it is just crazy right now.
And it's not us; it's across the board in the United States shipping into Canada.
We had one person that, and I don't know what happened, but theirs was way off. It's been around $40 to $60 on shipping stuff, but theirs was way high. And I sent it to Jacqueline because they sent me a message, and Jacqueline went and looked, and it was lower. So if you are in Canada and you're looking to ship,
there's Jacqueline. We're looking into UPS.
Okay. Send her a message.
If you're in Canada,
send email to the orders email address, and they're pretty quick at answering them. And
ask for the price for
see if they can do something different for you. I hope Jacqueline don't get mad at me about saying that.
I was just saying you're putting them in a bad position.
I'm sorry, Jacqueline. I'm sorry, but I don't. It's just crazy shipping over there. It really is. I mean, we ship stuff to the UK, and it seems like it's half the price.
Somebody said I'm worried about shipping from Mexico for coffee beans. Yeah, I mean,
me and Ryan have talked about that a little bit. We'll see. I didn't even, but that was several months ago.
Well, this is current though.
It hasn't. I don't think it's gone through yet, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Hopefully it can be kept economical.
Yeah, and that's true.
Goodness. What a mess.
What a mess.
We're talking about the cabinet.
Yeah, I got you messed up.
So the cabinet that I purchased was from local, y'all. It was local.
And it looks like a bookcase. And that's what I'm using as a bookcase now.
Had not been sleeping well at night and had been waking up. And he said that he almost sent it to me so I would see it first thing that next morning.
3 a.m.
At 3 a.m. And he didn't send it to me. But it just so happened that I woke up before he did, and I'm browsing Marketplace as I do every morning, and I saw the cabinet, and I sent it to him. And he said, I almost sent that to you at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I reached out to the people, and lo and behold, they still had it. Went and picked it up. As I was picking up a grocery pickup, that morning, I was afraid that the cabinet wasn't going to fit with the groceries, and it did. It's wonderful. The cabinet's wonderful.
It is wonderful, and I cannot tell you how long we've been looking on Facebook Marketplace for a cabinet to go. You've been wanting a china cabinet, and I've been wanting a bookcase.
Yes.
And so this one kind of fit the bill, in between there. It could have gone either way if we wanted it to, and so you found it extremely inexpensive
for what it is, for sure.
And lo and behold, if you didn't find your dream china. This is the style china cabinet you've been wanting. The same day.
The same day, y'all.
And again.
On Marketplace.
Extremely inexpensive.
Y'all, I mean, this cabinet, I almost thought it was a scam. It was so cheap. Matter of fact, Jason said, it's not a scam, is it? It was in Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw it posted, I reached out to the girl immediately, and she didn't answer me. And when I find something that I really want, it's like you're looking and you're like, have they read it yet? Have they read it yet? Because I knew I wanted to go get the cabinet right then if it was available. So finally the girl answered me and she said, yes, it's available. It was in Tuscaloosa. Just so happened to be a bird in Tuscaloosa that Mary Carl had wanted to see. What was that? Some kind of goose. Brant goose?
Cackling goose.
Cackling goose.
Which is a miniature Canada goose.
Basically. Mm-hmm. It looks just like a Canada goose.
It's little being cute.
But it's little. And so Mary Carl was like, oh, Mama, can we go? Can we go? And I said, I gotta wait on this girl to respond. And lo and behold, she responded. Mm-hmm. How far is Tuscaloosa? It's about
hour 15.
Hour 20 minutes, something like that. From us. And so how do you know if it's a scam? I always ask for their phone number.
That, and you can go to their profile.
If they joined in 2025, you don't want to mess with them.
And you can go to their profile and look at their personal page, and you can tell there too. If they give you your phone number, then that's a pretty good indication.
And this girl gave me her phone number, and so I called her and I said, "Look," I said, because it said first one to pick up is the one that gets it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me an hour and a half to get there. Basically, by the time we get our clothes on, I don't want her to steal it out from under me and drive that far. So I called her and she said, look, if you tell me you're on your way, then I'm going to hold it for you. And that made me feel much better.
Yep.
Because lo and behold, what if I had gotten there and she said, well, somebody got here before you?
It happens.
It happens. So I got in the car and we went. Of course, we picked up the cabinet first because that was our reason for going. And then the goose was on the back burner. So we found the goose and we got the cabinet and we saw Jacqueline and Eleanor in Michael's, and we did not tell them we were coming because it was a spur of the moment thing. And we went to Michael's to what were we getting? Something from Mary Carl. I can't remember what it was.
Was it the pulling she's doing?
No, not the needle felting.
Okay.
Speaking of that, a lady is sending a whole big box of needle felting that she can't do because of arthritis. So she's sending that to Mary Carl, and it's gonna keep her busy for a while. I can't remember what we went in there for.
No, a cackling goose is not a Canada goose, but it looks like a miniature Canada goose.
It looks like a miniature Canada goose, and we got to see it.
Yep.
We got to see it. She
remember what she wanted in Michael's.
I can't remember either.
Beads. She's been doing a lot of beads here and there. Wasn't beads though, was
it?
We
got some markers. She got some paint markers that she
clay?
Wanted. No. That's going to drive me crazy.
She made a little headband.
That's going to drive me crazy to remember what it was. Jacqueline said that made their day. Yes, it did. I think I scared Eleanor to death. She was standing at the checkout, and I walked back behind her, and I said, ah, like that real loud, and I could see Eleanor kind of jump, but I knew it was them, and I should have said Eleanor or something calmer, but I was so excited to see them and run into them. But anyway.
It wasn't stuff for the button maker.
No, it wasn't.
We'll have to ask her.
So there was also a pair of boots that we found on Marketplace. These boots are really expensive, and we were not buying them new. However, these had never been worn, and they were her size. And I had been watching them on Marketplace for a long time. I told her, I said, we're not going to Tuscaloosa just for a special trip. I'd actually thought about reaching out to Jacqueline and say, will you pick these up for me? But I felt like, no, I don't want to put her out of the way. If they're still available, when we go to Tuscaloosa, we'll get them. Reached out to the lady. Yes, they're available. I'm at so-and-so's house helping her move. This is the address. Come by. We'll be there all day. So y'all, it was this neighborhood that it was just, I mean, the houses were just fancy. Mary Carl had never been through a neighborhood like this. And I said, Mary Carl, would you like to sell our farm and move into a neighborhood like this? And she said, no. She wasn't impressed. I mean, the houses were beautiful in my mind, but in her mind, she didn't see it as beautiful because you were right up next to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a done deal that she's never going to want to live in a neighborhood if she can keep from it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't want to live in a neighborhood, but they don't have any choice.
Right.
So we got the boots, we get back in the car, and I'm looking at the curbside right there, and there's all this stuff piled up. And the lady had told me she was helping somebody move.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, Mary Carl, you see all that stuff out there? Yeah, Mama, I see it. And I said, I'll be right back. So I went back to the house and I said, is all this stuff out here free for the taking?
Yep.
And she was like, yeah, we're getting rid of it. We're throwing it away. And I said, okay. And y'all, it was stuff. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I've got this china cabinet in my car. My car is slap filled to the max. I don't know how much I'm going to fit in here.
Man, if you'd had that long wheelbase farm truck.
If I would have had it. It was drizzling rain. That's why I drove the car. So I start going through the stuff on the curbside. And y'all, I was just having a field day. I could not believe what I saw. There was clay pots. There was all kind of stuff. But there was a bookshelf. It was blue, bright blue. It's real whimsical looking. The lady said, that bookshelf's nice, but it's kind of rickety. And so it was kind of swaying back and forth, but I knew we could fix it.
And the paint's kind of peeling off. Stuff like I like.
So I got it in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I had scratched the china cabinet. But I got it in there. In the meantime, Mary Carl is like, oh my gosh, Mama, please, can we go? Well, then there's a coffee table that I really didn't have any need for, but it was so cool. And the lady's asking the women that it's an older lady, so she had to downsize.
Mm-hmm.
So she's asking the ladies that are helping her, obviously her daughters. She's like, do you not think that I can use this on my screen porch where I'm going? And I said, look, if you want to keep this coffee table, by all means, I'm not taking it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ladies are like, Mama, you cannot take everything. You've got to leave some stuff. And the lady's like, if you can use it, please take it. I said, I don't know if I can get it in my car. Mm-hmm. And so, y'all, I am pushing and shoving and trying to make room. And I got everything I could get in my car. And when I saw Jacqueline at Michael's, I said, look, there's this neighborhood. I don't know what it's called, but I got the address. And there's all kind of stuff by the curbside. I'm going to give you the address and you go by there. And so they were going to a birthday party. Jacqueline sent me a text later that night of her car. And it's Eleanor going, because they got the rest of the stuff that was on the curbside. And I'm telling you, it was some good stuff. I only had that farm truck. I could have loaded it down. So Jacqueline got the rest of it. I couldn't let that good stuff go and not.
Well, the garbage pickup may have been the next day.
It was a Sunday. So I'm banking that the next day was maybe the garbage pickup.
And they'd have picked it right on up.
So Jacqueline got a lot of the good stuff too. I don't know what all she got, but here I was, curbside. Not only was it the boot pickup, the rest of it was just, goodness. I got a Mr. system too. I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Irrigation.
Don't know what we're going to do with it, but it was obviously for all those little pots that the lady had.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't fit anything else, but Jacqueline did.
Mm-hmm.
So we made it had rained on some of it though. Some of it had rained on.
Zach said Jacqueline came home with all kind of cabinets and antique looking bird cages and stuff.
Yes, it was. And I told Mary Carl, I was like, Mary Carl, don't you like this bird cage? She was like, Mama, we don't need it. She's like, I'm like a maximist, when it comes to stuff that's free and on the side of the road.
No, she loves thrifting.
But she's a minimalist when it comes time for something she doesn't need.
I figured that she would love that, but I guess it wasn't stuff she liked.
No, it wasn't. it was like kind of crafty kind of stuff. I mean, she's a crafter, but she didn't see any use in this.
That's back in the old days, but me and you, because we used to every weekend
ride around.
We would ride through the neighborhoods in our hometown looking for stuff put on side of the road.
Yep.
And we almost found something good almost every time.
It got so much of a joke. Jason was like, "Don't look, we don't have any room. We can't get that."
Yep.
Yeah, we made a good trip out of it because I got a couple of things and she got her boots and got the china cabinet and saw the bird and saw Jacqueline and Eleanor at the same time. So, yeah.
Talking about fancy houses and us living here and that kind of thing. Somebody asked if we had to do it over again, would we do a barndominium again? And I don't know what your answer would be, but mine would be absolutely.
Yes, mine's absolutely, because I like the open floor plan.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of having, well, they call it a truss, because that's the weight of your house.
All the load bearing are on the outside walls.
And it's just like our barn, it's wide open in the middle. Mm-hmm. So when you have trusses, you can make it as wide open with as few walls or as many walls.
All houses have trusses, but it's because of the weights on the big poles on the outside, and you got your steel beams in the middle. So
and you can have steel posts too. We chose to go with wood because that's what Brant dealt with. But yes, I would definitely do it again.
Definitely do it again.
And the thing is you can pour your slab, you can put your frame up and finish it as you wish. I mean, you don't have to do it all at one time.
Yep.
You can work on a little bit at a time once you get it in the dry. And of course you can with a regular house too, but you got to have walls up.
Yes, that's right. You got somebody, or you could do it yourself, but I mean, no, you couldn't do it yourself because whoever builds the house, you got load bearing walls.
You got to have that
in the middle.
You got to have that to begin with.
So you have to have somebody to frame your house completely,
which is what we did at our old house. We paid somebody to frame it, which was a lot more expensive than framing a barndominium.
Yes,
because it's a lot of wood involved. But yes, I would do it differently.
Do we design? We went with an architect and told him what we wanted.
Now, originally I was like, we don't need an architect.
Yeah.
And Jason was like, Brooke, how are we going to know where to put this? And I was like, Jason, we can do it. And once we reached out to the architect in Clanton, we realized how inexpensive he was compared to us trying to wing it and figure out where things needed to go.
Yeah.
I mean, our house plans we bought our house plans at our old house.
Yeah.
But hiring that architect to do it was probably an eighth of the price. And it's not like that everywhere. Depends on the architect.
That depends on the architect. It depends on how many copies you need.
Plus ours was very basic, because it was a barndominium.
And he built it exactly like we wanted.
We wanted. And I would do that all over again. I would not just go in and put room here. You got to plan it out.
That's right. Yep.
I'm satisfied with everything.
Definitely would do it again. Yep. Is it warm? Is it hard to heat? Nope, it's not hard to heat at all. Now we do have the concrete floors. I guess you could put something else in if you.
You could use radiant heat, radiant floor heat. If you lived in the north and it was hard to keep your house warm in the winter because the temperatures got real low, I would do radiant heating in the floor. Of course, it would not be beneficial here in the South, but not hard to heat. And a lot of people do the radiant heating in concrete, and it helps to warm the house.
That's right. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Can you believe an hour's passed already?
No, isn't that crazy?
And you made it?
I made it. I only coughed a few times.
Well, you only got 3 hours till nap time. Oh, goodness. But we got some exciting things coming up. So y'all stay tuned. And Jason's not going to do too much this weekend. I'm going to make sure of it.
Yep.
Even next week, he needs to take care of himself. And I can do everything that needs to be done. And that's one thing that before we go, my mama depended on my daddy for just about everything. And I think most women do depend on their husband for a lot of things. But one thing that I want Mary Carl to be able to do, having seen my mama go through such a hard time after my daddy died. I mean, he had cancer for 5 years. So, we knew that there was a possibility he wouldn't make it. But also, she was never prepared for him to not be there anymore. So much so that he handled all the finances. He handled everything. And she depended on me when he passed, because I could take care of the yard work and I could take care of, contacted people to repair things. But I want Mary Carl to be able to learn how to be independent as much as possible.
Right.
Not to say to not get married and not depend on somebody, but it's just important to me to be able to do things myself. And had I not known how to feed everybody and take care of everybody and go get hay, can you imagine where we'd be? I mean, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Right.
And I want to be able, and it could go the opposite way.
Right.
So, that you need to know how to do things too, but that's not relevant in this situation. But yes, I want her to be able to take care of herself and become an independent person.
And I can do the laundry and do the dishes. I can cook.
Right.
I taught myself how to iron my clothes.
Right. So it's a two-sided situation. Yes, men need to know how to do things too.
That's what I've been doing actually since I've been sick.
Mary Carl and I
doing the laundry.
Went yesterday and we're gone and got home and he said, all the laundry's taken care of.
All laundry's taken care of.
I said, Jason.
Hung up and folded.
And I kind of looked up at the sky and I just was like, thank you. But yes, I'm saying it from a woman's perspective.
I know.
He's saying it from a man's perspective. But yes, my mama was not prepared. And to now she's not prepared.
Right.
She's still, if it wasn't for me, there's a lot of things that she couldn't do. So yes, that's a true partnership, but without the other half, you got to become independent.
It's true.
So
that's true.
All right. I was planning on leaving. So we're still planning on leaving.
My stomach's actually growling.
Well, that's good.
I know it.
Maybe you're hungry.
Maybe I am hungry.
All right. Yes, I freeze-dried pineapple. It's very good.
Yep, we did do pineapple.
Catherine has done freeze-dried canned pineapple and actually thinks that it's, just as good because that it is ripe.
That's the thing about pineapple. Yep.
All right.
Have to be careful with that.
All right, Jason. Let's go. We could talk all day. We'll talk again on Tuesday. That's the plan. I'm not going to get sick. Do y'all hear me? It's been...
if you ain't got it by now,
it's been 11 days and I haven't gotten it.
Yeah.
So we plan to be back here on Tuesday at 4:00. My video will be tomorrow. Jason's on Monday, and we will be. Hey, we're going to be back on a regular schedule.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Are y'all finished with your coffee? I know I'm not. I've talked too much. But we will be. So y'all be good.